No, no. Why?
What, did you die?
No, I didn't die, but you threw a grenade at me. Well, you betrayed me already. You're like Joey, you smacked me with a dildo bat.
Well,
Take that. Take it.
Sputnik. I forgot Sputnik was on.
Yeah.
You never get near a box when Sputnik is...
Hey, what is going on, you guys? It's Vergil here from Coyote Wild with a very special guest, and this guest is extremely special. This is my little brother,
Bruce.
That's not his real name, but that's the name he wants to go by on YouTube. And today we are playing Halo 2 Anniversary for the first time. Well, for me, anyway. I've been wanting to play this for quite a long time. Halo 2 was my absolute favorite game on the original Xbox next to Fable: The Lost Chapters. And this was the one game that I played multiplayer on more than any back in the day. Joey and really everybody in the channel has had their roots back in Halo 2 and all these other games. And, it's just really, really cool seeing it in these updated visuals, 60 frames per second. And you can really see the 60 FPS too, which is really impressive. This is one of the few Xbox One games that I've seen back to keep its frame rate consistent.
Unlike Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, because we were playing Star Wars Battlefront earlier, and it just went to like 25 frames per second, and then it would go back up. It's kind of like how my old computer was back in the Left 4 Dead 2 and Gary's mod days. We actually had to record this a second time because our audio, for whatever reason, didn't record, but I fixed the issue, and hopefully it doesn't mess up again, but...
And also, we kept killing each other with the Scarab gun.
Right, and we just had some ridiculous skulls on. It was just a mess. But anyway, this is Cairo Station, first mission on Halo 2. I know this like the back of my hand. In fact, I know the entire game like the back of my hand. I mean, I know like a bunch of glitches that did they keep all of the glitches in this game? Like the
I know they kept some of them. They patched a few, like some of the really, really bad glitches. But they kept the really cool glitches, at least a few of them, I know. Because I found a few.
See, I hope they kept the Pelican glitch that you can get inside the Pelican on Metropolis, I think, whenever it flies away and you end up outside of the map. That's what I want to see in the updated visuals, because on my old channel I actually did a video on that, and it was really fun. You can also, there's another thing you can do that's not really a glitch, but with the Sputnik skull, you can actually go save the Marines on the Sacred Icon level before the Flood actually kill them, and they're actually programmed to kill you, which is the cool and interesting thing, since you don't actually fight the humans as the Arbiter.
That's really interesting. But yeah, I know you can get out. I know that outside the map glitch is still there, because the last time I played this, I got stuck outside the map, and it was horrible.
Press X to flip Banshee, right?
Yeah. Not fun at all. I wish they would have kept, like, I think they had it in Halo 3, where you could actually get in the pods and walk down in there, because they always had secret crap back in there.
Right. Oh, there it goes. It's such a pretty explosion in the updated graphics. Like, is it this button that changes it? It's instantaneous too, which is better than like the original Halo 2 and Halo Anniversary. It was like it phased in and out like a transition on a video, but in this it's just instantaneous. So like, for instance, I'm shooting and it changes between the sounds and the models. It's really cool, and I don't even think it really loses that much frames whenever you do that, if at all.
I like both the graphics. It just seems like it's easier when it has the better graphics, just because you're used to it. It just kind of messes with you a little bit when you change it.
Yeah, for me, the older graphics, like when it gets into the darker areas, I find it's a little easier to see. It was the case in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Like whenever it was a really dark area, I just changed the graphics back to the old graphics because I could see better. It's the same case for Halo 2 Anniversary from what I can see. Because the reason being that since it was 2004, the lighting technology in games wasn't as it is today, where we have like ultra realistic lighting. We just had like basic shadows and stuff, and you know, going into these areas that aren't lit very well but are still, you know, easy to traverse. That's a good reason to go back to the old graphics, besides, you know, the nostalgia, but still.
Yeah, I really like I like the feeling of the old graphics, because it takes you back to a time when you were younger and you didn't really have anything to worry about. You could just sit home and play video games with your friends all day.
Right, Halo 2 is one of the games that I will literally be playing until the day I die, because Halo 2, I could play this game as many times as I want and I will never get bored of it, because of just how much I just loved this game as a kid. You know, Joey and I and, you know, a couple other friends, we used to play this all the time. We played the Girls Club, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, and this was just an amazing game back then. So many good memories.
I hated the tank in Medal of Honor Rising Sun. You remember that one? Where, like,
oh, yeah.
You play the whole mission in the tank, and then it ends, and was it your brother that gets killed at the end of that mission?
Right, you see, I think Medal of Honor Rising Sun deserved a true sequel, because in Medal of Honor Heroes, or whatever it was, like, we figure out, like, what happens to the main character who gets the back, but we didn't really get to play through that. It just didn't... Like, I really wanted to see a resolution where you killed the main bad guy and all that stuff, you know, happy ending, but we didn't get to see that, and that was disappointing. But then again, you know, with Medal of Honor, the series is changing all the time.
There hasn't been a new one for how long?
A couple years, actually. I think the last one was Medal of Honor or something. I forgot the name of it, but...
I didn't even play it.
Like, there was the reboot, and then there was another one, and I think that was the most recently released one. You know, the franchise just has lost a lot of fans because they just tried to emulate Call of Duty too much, and, which is sad because, you know, believe it or not, Call of Duty actually has its roots in the Medal of Honor series. The original developers of the first Call of Duty game to ever come out were actually Splinters from 2015 Inc., who made Medal of Honor Allied Assault one of the best multiplayer games on the PC at the time.
Which was actually my cousin, by the way.
Yeah, and yeah, he had a cousin who was one of the programmers, but yeah, like it was just one of the best, and there are still people who play it. There's hundreds of people around the world even who still play Medal of Honor Allied Assault. Russia, East, America, you name it. There's actually some Spanish players that once, so it's still a pretty popular game for the servers that you can find, because you have to download an unofficial patch to play it now, because GameSpy is shut down in 2013, so that entire server base is gone. So the in-game server browser worked because it wasn't connected to that whole mainframe, but eventually the server browser just kind of bugged out and it just didn't work anymore. But then somebody made a patch where you can use it again. I have yet to play this patch, but I might eventually.
I died, by the way.
Yeah, I know. There, you know, Halo 2, funny story. There was actually, this is a story. There was actually the Heroes of Xbox, the original Xbox. Halo 2 was the last original Xbox Live game being played, because Microsoft was going to shut down the servers, but they couldn't until the players were all gone. So there were like at least 24 people who were playing Halo 2 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because they were protesting that and they wanted to keep Halo 2 servers. Now eventually they kind of all went offline and Microsoft kind of hit the can, you know, got rid of it.
Don't worry, man.
But the good news is with the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One, which is what, oh, that was amazing. But with the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One, which we're playing right now, it has the Halo 2 multiplayer, the new multiplayer, which with the improved graphics and visuals and gameplay and everything, but they also have the classic multiplayer with all of the maps as well. So you can play classic Halo 2 multiplayer 60 FPS on new Xbox servers. So the heroes of the original Xbox can come back and play the game that they love so much without worrying about it getting shut down anytime soon, which is phenomenal in my opinion.
I really like it when they remake games. I mean, there isn't as big of a market to remake games and things like that, but it's just, there's something about playing a game that you loved so much with better graphics that just makes you feel good about yourself.
Like, check this out, for instance. This is 2004 graphics, that's the moon. This is the entire space area. You see a couple ships, you know, limitations on the sun, lens flare, glitching out there. Look at the improved graphics. You see hundreds of UNSC ships flying, you know. It's got a better lens flare. The moon looks really realistic there. And just seeing all the explosions up there indicating the battle that's going above, it's just really awesome.
It's something that people back then could have never imagined being able to be put into a game.
Right, and you know, 2004 to 2016, you know, we see a lot of stuff that's changed. I mean, the two most visually impressive games of the time, well, more so the most played that I know, that I personally was involved with, Half-Life 2 and Halo 2 were the most played, or just the most impressive games of the time. Half-Life 2, one of the greatest games to have ever been released, and it still holds up graphically to some games that come out today. Has one of the most impressive physics systems that's been implemented in tons of games since its release. You know, Half-Life 2 was the father of the Source engine, and every single Source game that we see today, like Titanfall, Portal 2, TF2, you know, all that started with Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike's Source. And, you know, Halo 2 wasn't visually impressive compared to Half-Life 2 necessarily. It held its own against other titles, but comparatively, I feel like Half-Life 2 kind of took the cake graphically. But Halo 2 was the multiplayer game to play at the time.
Yeah, when you think about all of the advancements that have come into play since 1998, it's gone from like Nintendo 64, Donkey Kong 64, GameCube games, Star Fox to Black Ops 3.
Right.
Just in that time span, in like 17, 18 years, how much it's come is just amazing to me.
See, we went from the Virtual Boy to the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift when it comes to VR. And, you know, that VR is incredibly amazing. And, you know, people with the Virtual Boy, they were like, oh, this is never going to take off, that's why it was canned. But now we have, I bet Nintendo regrets not making the Virtual Boy as better than it was. Obviously, they had the hardware limitations at the time, but I guess it was kind of out of its era, per se, because the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive and just all this VR technology that's being made nowadays, you know, the Virtual Boy was just kind of out of its era.
Kind of like the Nintendo Power Glove.
Right. And just thinking about how GoldenEye 64 was the multiplayer game on the N64, the very best first-person shooter multiplayer.
Yeah, it was amazing, especially because of what's his name, the little short guy.
Right, and the golden gun.
You could never hit him because he was so short, and it was so annoying because I never got to play as him.
And just seeing how in a short amount of time from what was this, 2014 this came out.
Yeah.
And just seeing how from 2004 to 2014, just how much graphically and physically a game can change.
And just thinking from when this came out to last year, when Halo 5 came out, how much graphics got better since then.
Right, and you know, I was actually playing Gears of War, the original Gears of War earlier today, and seeing Gears of War came out in 2006, the original game, and it looks graphically impressive when you play it, and I'm just like, how is this game 10 years old? And I look at it and I'm like, okay, the textures are a little fuzzy, and you know, but looking at how, you know, they released Gears of War Ultimate Edition and just seeing like
how much time was left.
Playing Gears of War again after all this time, it's just wow, how far have we come as a community, and just seeing all of these improvements.
Not against a ship that
phenomenal.
size. Not on your own.
Because back when Gears of War first came out, all the colors were just dark. And that really helped with the atmosphere, but not necessarily the gameplay.
Right.
And game developers have learned that, yes, you want it to look aesthetically good and want to make the atmosphere good, but you want to make it to where you can actually play the game. Because there were portions where it was just too dark.
Right, and then you think about,
I know what you're
Metal
thinking,
Gear Solid,
and
the
it's
original
crazy.
Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation
Unfortunately
1.
for us both,
That game
I like
was
crazy.
graphically the most impressive game of its era. But when you look at it, the facial models don't even have moving mouths. They don't have noses, they don't have eyeballs. It's just a texture on their face that says words. They're telepathically speaking.
Just one question.
And we went from that
What if you
to
miss?
Metal Gear Solid 5 with all of these like motion captured faces and just these really awesome visuals. I mean, look at this. Back in 2004, this cutscene was one of the coolest Halo things to ever have come out of this game. This cutscene was badass, basically.
And I mean, it was so awesome that they used it for, like, what, 3 commercials? Because didn't they use it for the original Halo 2? And then they used it for the Anniversary Edition. And then they used it for the Master Chief Collection as well, because it's just that awesome. And now with it remastered, it's even cooler.
Yeah, because this was a separate studio that made these cutscenes. It's like, Chief, permission to leave the station. For what purpose, Master Chief? To get the cover back to the bomb. And it's just, he's going to do something nuts. And he takes their own bomb, goes into the core of one of their ships, sets off the bomb, goes out of the ship, lands on his own ship, and then goes onto the surface. Now, can anybody else do that? I don't think anybody else could. It's gotta be the Chief.
No other Spartan could do that.
Right.
I mean, when you think about it, yes, the other Spartans are cool. I mean, they have cool armor, except for, what's her name, Halo 4, Reaper wears a helmet, which I never got that. But, she wears a helmet in Halo 5, though. But, I mean, even, what's his name there? What's his name, Johnson?
Sergeant Johnson.
He's a Spartan.
Spartan 1, Project Orion.
But
I was
he
actually
couldn't do
well-versed in the Halo lore, but, yeah, Project Orion, he was at one of the Spartan 1s.
Because he's like, what, like 60-something in this game?
Right, he's getting there. He was, Project Orion, I think, was like it was before 2552. It was like in 24-something, so he's getting pretty old.
Because I think he was like 70-something when he died in Halo 3.
Right, and this takes place the same year as Halo 3. 2552. Well, maybe Halo 3, I think, takes place a year later.
I think it's 2553 because on the ship, like on the memorial, it says 2553 on it.
Yeah, it's like a couple months later, because Halo 1 takes place in September of 2552, and then a couple months later, Halo 2, and then Halo 3. So it takes place, the entire Halo series from Halo 1 to 3 takes place in the time span of a couple months, and then we get the 4-year time skip to Halo 4.
Which I think is well done. I think it's good that they decided to make it a time skip, because if you just do it like this, yes, it's awesome, because you get that from one to another, you get that continuity, and you can't really change things too much, because
it distances itself from the old Halo games. It's like, this is the newer generation, this is how, the fighting has changed over the years, like Halo 4 came out in 2012, right? So,
2012 decided to land.
So it was almost to that release, 4 years, 7 months, 20 days, might have been from the release of Halo 3 to Halo 4, but, yeah, it was 2012, because I remember I was like, even if the Mayan apocalypse happens, if they're happening, because that's what I was like back then. I was like, I better play Halo 4 before the world ends.
That was me too.
Hey,
because I was like,
wake up.
If the world's gonna end, I'm at least gonna go out playing video games. That's what I love to do.
However, it's actually context. Oh, nope.
No.
Yeah.
Run, Jet, run.
It's actually context specific, so if you put it on a bunch of materials, it'll actually tell you what the material. Good game.
Oh.
Now, do you see why mods are so important? I would, quite honestly.